Here's your wrist, hand, elbow mobility stuff. Go into a gentle wrist stretch. So we're gonna start here in the front, rock forward and back. You can be in your frog rock position here, hands straight on the ground. This is a good place to test, just see where you're at with the tension in your wrist. How far can you go? 5 to 10 rocks here. First, we want to open up the hand, rock from one pad of the palm to the other, back and forth like a little seesaw. How you're going to do this: hand on the ground, start on your pinky side, and you're going to roll across. Be careful, it might be a little tender as you go over the middle, back and forth, roughly a 5 or a 6 on the pain scale, no more than that. If you start grimacing, you're going too intensely. 10 to 20 sweeps back and forth, and just a little gentle roll out into the fingers just to open that up. And then you hit the other side. Test, just see where you're at. We're gonna take our hands out to the side, rock side to side. Everything is gonna be 5 to 10. Turn your hands, your fingers back towards you. Same thing, you'll feel this up the forearm. Depending how tight your arms are, you'll feel it into the elbow. Then from here, backs of your hands very lightly. You might have a tough time getting the whole back of your hand on the ground, so you might start here, just your knuckles on the ground. That's okay. And if you're only your knuckles on the ground, you can just do gentle pressures towards the ground. You'll feel a little rocking. You can get the whole hand on the ground. Rock back and forth this way. Then we're going to turn the fingers in towards each other. Now with this, elbows are out wide. Now press up on the back of your hands. Push up to a locked elbow with the straight wrist, trying to keep the back of your hand on the ground. Roll up to the knuckles here, and then unravel like a little fruit roll up all the way back down. Try to get as much surface on the back of your hand covered as possible and the back of your wrist as possible. As you feel more confident, you can put more and more pressure on the hand. Back to this position here. You're going to do a little press up, finger press ups. So you can see the bottom of the hand coming up off of the ground. This will strengthen and stretch out the fingers. Now we're going to think like a little bulldog. Hands going like this. Get the little bulldog face going. Elbows start out wide, and then you're going to keep your hands locked in position, press up, and you're going to feel a twist. Like there's a wringing out of the tissues. So it's a twist. Puff your chest out, lock the elbows, try to turn the pit of the elbow forward. Remember, 5 to 10 for each of those. You can come back and retest. How does your hands feel here? If you'd like, you can do that wrist mobility with the rock floss. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And do the rolling of the hand with this floss on. You start farther away from the body. Okay, so wrist, and then you wrap toward the center of the body. So we're gonna start it here. The first one's usually a little bit awkward, so tuck it a little nice. You should grab the skin, but we're not gonna go super crazy with how tense it's gonna be here. You might need to have to squeeze your hand a little bit there. So the first one, once you get it, I got it up here into the base of the wrist. Now, we're going to wrap halfway of the band, 50% tension. So you don't wanna be maxed out, you want about 50% tension. You don't want to get too far ahead here, so you can actually control the tension all the way around. All right, tuck the last one underneath this. Probably just get all the way up the forearm with that. A little beyond and over the elbow, that's also okay. Sometimes this is where you need a super buddy, a pal who can help. Now, should feel a little taut. When your hands start to get a little dusky, almost purpley, that's when you've gone too long. Start by creating a little traction, a gentle squeeze and a twist. It'll feel like a deep stretch, and you don't need to go hard. And then go through those same motions, play with a little bit of extra stretch, a little extra twist. Think about just what feels tight on your body. You're gonna know where that tension and that stiffness is better than anybody else. Feel a little bit base of the wrist on the other side here. So I'm just grabbing right around that, a gentle squeeze, a twist as I lean into that range of motion. And then I find a new spot. You can play around with wrist position. the same rocks this way, do the same rocks this way. After you've done that rocking without the band, you're gonna know from that what was the most challenging one for you. It's probably where I'd go first as you're coming back to it with the rock floss. Now you can see my hands are getting a little purpley, a little dusky. Blood's starting to evacuate the area. We'll pop that off, open the hands up a little bit, retest it. Already feeling a little more freedom in the hand. Do the same exact thing. I would start your next one from right below the elbow to above the elbow. That'll probably get you up around the delt. The same thing though, with the twisting. Challenge yourself in the different positions that were most difficult for you, and then test at the end. Give it a shot.